Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Good, yeah.
I'm doing very well.
Good.
We were just in a room with 700 kids all chanting for you.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting.
Inspiring.
It is, definitely.
You know, you have to win something because they will be so disappointed if you don't.
Oh no, I'm sure they'll love us just the same.
No, I know they will. And I'm sure you'll win anyway, so it won't even be a big deal.
Doesn't
I mean,
matter.
second overall this year rather.
This year, yeah.
So you're coming off a nice little high here.
Yeah, it's been a pretty successful season, so I'm pretty happy, and we'll just keep it going and roll it right into Vancouver.
Right. Have you gotten down the track yet? Have you had a chance?
Yeah, for the last couple of years, we've been on it as much as possible.
Nice.
We start in the end of every year, and we've also competed at a World Cup event on there as well. So.
Do you have more practice on it than most other countries then? Is that
Yes,
fair to say? That's a good thing.
That would be fair to say for sure. So it definitely, hopefully gives us a home track advantage.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, I hear some people walk the tracks beforehand just so they know the corners and all that kind of stuff.
We do a track walk before we slide every day.
Oh, okay.
So check out the track, make sure, just see kind of if the ice has changed, different shapes, just kind of go through the whole track in your head again.
Right.
Just more mental preparation and stuff. So.
Right. So you were a brakeman for a while, or brakewoman rather. I don't know if there's a politically correct term for it.
Women's brakeman.
There you go.
That's what we call it.
All right.
Yeah.
What made the change?
After the 2006 Olympics, I was named as the spare to the 2006 Olympics, which was devastating for me.
Fair enough.
I was not really prepared for it. I had an injury at the start of the year, and to be there and to be so close, and I got the title and the name and everything else, all the clothing, but to not be able to compete and be standing right there and not being able to compete devastated me. It was very, very hard. So I decided that I would no longer be a brakeman ever again if I was going to continue in the sport. It would be as a pilot, or I would switch to a different country and try and compete for them.
So should possibly go to the UK?
Possibly, yeah, that was definitely an option. So, yeah, it was one of those two. And in March, I just had done a driving school, and it had gone really well. So
This past March or a while ago?
No,
a while ago. Okay.
Right after 2006.
Cool.
So March of 2006, I did a driving school, and yeah, it went really well, and driving kind of just has evolved since then.
So what's the difference between being a brakeman and a pilot? What's the biggest difference you've noticed?
Being a pilot comes with a lot more responsibility. As a pilot, I'm responsible for the equipment portion of it, so for purchasing and or renting, getting the sleds and the runners and kind of everything organized. So the equipment is mine. So that's a big responsibility. And just generally in our sport, it's not that we're any more important than the brakemen, because it takes two to be able to do the sport. So the brakemen are equally just as important, but because the pilot's responsible for the equipment and a lot more, it's usually the pilot's name that kind of goes along, like it would be Bob Team Humphries or Bob Team Looters that that has the team name. So really that's about all. We drive down back.
Sorry, you mentioned Looters, and I know he kind of showed you the ropes on how to do it.
Yes, he definitely did. He's been a huge mentor to me over the last 4 years for sure.
That's awesome. You mentioned your injury before. It was a garden hose that kept you out of the game? Is that what I heard?
That was fun. That was in the best shape of my life in August, and then I had an opportunity to do the World Push Championships in Mexico. And at the time, you don't really think anything of it. I just, for sponsors, for future titles, everything, I wanted to be the World Push Champion. As a brakeman, that's huge.
Yeah.
It's a big title. So I had gone to Guadalajara, Mexico, and during the warm-up of the competition, I tried to jump over a garden hose, and somehow I don't even know how it happened, but somehow I rolled my ankle and tore all the ligaments, muscles in my ankle. So it put me out basically until December kind of the Olympic year, and I had a couple months, and I was able to come back well enough to be the spare. So that's an accomplishment in itself, but it wasn't enough, and it was very hard. So I definitely learned from that lesson.
No more jumping, no more testing limits.
No more things like that. No, not the Olympic year.
Yeah, fair enough. And you're feeling completely fine now. I mean, it's been a while, but
all good.
Awesome.
All good. No repercussions, and yeah, it's just unfortunately, that's the path that was chosen for me. So I've made the best of it, and we'll see what happens come this February. I'm definitely excited to get to compete and kind of, have my Olympic experience.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And probably win a medal. Not probably win a medal. Win a medal.
Whatever happens, happens. Push the best, drive well, and whatever happens at the bottom will happen.
Definitely. I know you're excited to actually compete as well, but is there anything you're excited to go see as well?
I'm excited definitely to go see a lot of the events.
Are you going to a bunch? Have you decided?
Not yet.
Okay.
I don't really know what ones. I'll go to as many as I can after my competition. So we compete, and then we've got 4 days left. So whatever is left in those 4 days, I'm hitting them up 24/7. All the events I can do, I'm going to go. The COC's put on an Olympic Excellence Series for the last couple of years, and I've gone and I've been able to make some really amazing friends with a lot of other really great, amazing athletes. So I'm excited to go watch them compete and cheer them on once I'm done. And, you build personal relationships, and it's always, if you know somebody or you've met somebody, it just makes it a little more special. So I'm definitely excited to go watch all of them. Speed skating and curling and lots of sports.
Cool. We're talking about knowing someone and meeting someone. I met Mark Tewksbury when I was 6, and he made me want to swim.
Yeah.
You met him, and he made you want to go to the Winter Olympics.
Yes. Well, not the Winter Olympics. He made me want to be an Olympian and win an Olympic gold medal. So it was that was definitely started by him, and at the time I was skiing, so it just kind of fell into the skiing category. Didn't end up happening in skiing. I just wasn't at that level. Competed against a lot of the girls that are on the Olympic team, and were there in 2006, but just I was never at that level, so I had to pick a different sport, and bobsleigh seemed to be it.
Yeah, and you seem to have found your sport.
Seems to work, and agree with me.
Awesome. Well, good luck at the games.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, nice.